would say all good. We, our current balance with the check that's coming from the city this month is $642,000 plus our catastrophe reserve account of $50,000. And we're in as healthy a position as we've been. I just wanted to give you a little sort of overview that I thought was helpful of the first 6 months of receipts by the TID. This is what we get from the city, which is always a little confusing to look at because it's from the city collections the month before, which are from the hotel collections the month before that. So there's a little couple month delay, but these are what we actually received. And in those first 6 months of the year, in 2019, we received about $250,000. That's sort of our winter collections. In 2020, which was where the COVID hit sort of at the end of that period, it dropped down to 163. In 2021, it dropped even further to 147,000. In 2022, with the resurgence of tourism, we were at 415,000. So you can, I just thought those numbers were illustrative of the change that's happened over the last year, and we hope we can all keep it moving.
Dan, over the next 6 months, the remaining part of the year, what are the obligations of the TID in just the gross amount?
Well, that's up to us to determine. And I think we are clear enough on where we are now that we need to put together a small group to come up with a budget. We have no outstanding obligations for the prior fiscal year, which is ending at the end of this month. But we have lots of, we're going to get back to at least normal, if not a little bit past normal, on what we can plan to spend this next year. And I think that's a big job for even the next few weeks, and definitely before the next meeting.
Hunt, would you like to join Dan and I on that committee to put together a budget?
I don't know if I need another committee to be on, but yeah, what day? Maybe what days? What days?
When would you like to do this, Dan?
My wife is going to kill me.
And just a quick point of notice, Hunt, just as a disinterested observer, we primarily just look over the budget and work on it, and it's fairly quick because we have existing budget and there's probably like 12 items on it, so it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Do you want to set a time now, or should we, Dan? Can we do that?
We could.
And of course, you'll be with us, Tim, on the budget. So it'll be 4 of us. What time do you recommend, Dan?
What works best for you, Hunt?
8 in the morning, and
maybe we can do is reconvene our smaller group to do some scheduling outside of the TID meeting, if that's okay.
That's probably best.
I know,
okay.
It sounds like Hunt has to look at his schedule.
I'd have to
here.
look at a calendar. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
But you prefer early morning meetings?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I can do 8 in the morning anytime you guys select, assuming I'm in the city.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so
Can't wait.
Jim, I'm going to let you be the orchestrator and put everything together and come up with the time that works for Dan, myself, and Hunt, and we'll go over the budget with you. And I would also recommend as part of that, we consider increasing the reserve. The $50,000 reserve as part of that consideration for recommendations.
I think that's a good idea. We started that reserve with the idea of having $100,000 in it. And it'd be nice to get it back to that level. I think we've got a little extra now. So that's one of the things we'll think about in our meeting.
And I didn't mean to offend either Chris or Dare and not ask you on the committee, but I thought I'd pick on Hunt this time.
That's quite all right.
Are you sure?
Does any member of the board have any questions of Dan regarding the financial condition of the TID at this time? And I think that was very good, your analysis that you gave us, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, that's eye-opening. That's eye-opening. 250 from 2019 to 415 this year. That's crazy.
And it's
Yeah, I
getting to
think
get better.
we're all feeling the surge of tourism, and it's different than anything it's at least those numbers show that we're different than we've ever been before. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan, very much for your report. If there are no questions or comments.
and one comment, Jack, the city must also see, because our TID collections go with your
Yes,
TOT collections, and so it must be
yes,
very helpful on the city end.
definitely. Yes, and last week we just passed 2022, 2023 fiscal years of the budget. And thanks to great increase of our TOT tax, and then finally we are showing a surplus for our budget. So that is wonderful. And also what I now want to see is we always carried out financially, fiscally conservative policy. So that I suggest the city manager and see if possible we can increase our reserve fund from the current 2 months to 3 months. So that is because nobody knows in the future, maybe another pandemic or something other issue that happens. So we are working on this, and also because we want to receive so-called American Rescue Plan Act, the money. Total is $2.6 million. That is a free money from the federal government to support our local economy. We already received $1.3 million. This just, we spend this, we using this money just embellishing, for our reserve of the fund. Because during the pandemic, we spend some of the reserve of the money. But right now, and we can pay back, for sure, we still have the sufficient reserve fund.
It sounds like everybody is doing well, and we're even going to do better because of everything we're doing right here. And we're in
Yes.
Sonoma.
Yeah, I want to say thank you, everyone. You are a major contributor because the property tax, keeping it almost the same, no big changes. And the sales tax increased, definitely. But a major one, that is the TOT tax.
All right, and obviously we hope the rest of the council appreciates that also.
Yes, everyone is thankful, and especially the staff, otherwise they're struggling.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Tim, I'm going to ask you to give us an update on the Bureau and the marketing efforts of the Bureau.
Sure. So thank you, everybody, and good to see you all. So I'll just do this real quickly and kind of go in order of things that are happening. So first of all, on Monday, we're so excited that we'll be welcoming a group from the San Francisco Tour Guide Guild. They're doing a trip to learn more about Sonoma. We've had a couple little hiccups. The cruise ships are coming back and all these big groups are coming back, and they've kind of forgotten how things work. And we had one group of 40 people that called us in a panic 2 weeks ago because they had not booked a wine tasting for the group of cruisers on the bus. And we asked when they were going to arrive, and they said in 5 minutes. So we asked them to come up and do a little bit of education to kind of, things have changed since perhaps they've last been here. But we made that work. We figured it out. June 22nd, we're doing that photo shoot. We need new imagery. We have not done it since the beginning of the pandemic. So it'll be good to do that. We're saving money by actually sharing the videographer and photographer with Healdsburg. So they're bringing them up so we can split the cost there. And it's a good collaboration that we can do there. We're in the midst of redoing our website. I'll be talking about that for the next 6 months because it's a long project. Goal is to roll that out in January and have that done a little more immersive, better visuals, more video, better content. Our old website, which the TID helped with, I think we launched that in 2016, so it's getting a little old and getting ready for that. Okay. Our visitors guide, we're in the middle of doing all the content and directories for. That will be available next month, about 5 to 6 weeks from now. So be ready for that, and happy to have everyone who's participating. We will do a little launch party, pickup party for people who were advertisers, and they can get their free case of the visitor guide. We've started a podcast. During the pandemic, we were doing a lot of videos. Not everyone likes to be on Zoom. This might shock you. So I decided to start doing a podcast at KSDY. We're trying it out to see if we can get it out there. We launched the first one last week. I'm taping another one this week, and we'll do that sporadically, really to kind of show off the different things to do in Sonoma Valley and also the different characters that make it up. If anyone's interested, let me know. We do tape it down there on 6th Street, and it's quite easy, and we can do that. Final thing. We had last week a meeting with some members of the Healdsburg TID. They're interested in some kind of collaboration, and we're looking at a way that we can work together specifically in areas that we're not as active in, which would be things like incentives and meetings, which would fill the midweek and off-peak areas for those properties that aren't familiar with that. That's usually Sunday through Thursday, and usually November through April. So it was a fairly positive meeting, and we're going to have one more and maybe see where we can work together. Maybe we can each put in some budget money to get a program going to kind of promote meetings or incentives or small groups to our area. So
if I can, Tim, if I could add just a little bit of background.
Sure.
Healdsburg and Sonoma are the only cities in Sonoma County that are not a part of the Sonoma County Tourism, which is a big organization and does promote a lot more of the meetings, small and large. And this is what Tim's talking about, I think, is preliminary discussions, but it might make sense for the two of us to get together to promote ourselves. We each have our own TID, and so we're each in a similar position in the county. Does that help, Tim?
That'd be great. So yeah, no, it was good. And I think we had a lot of similarities and a lot of opportunity together as a walkable, compact, premier destination in the wine country. And thank you, Dare, for letting us take over the outdoor space at Layla. That was a great lunch.
You're
So
welcome. It was
thank you.
fun.
Thank you again, dear.
Yep, it was wonderful to have you.
Tim, would you send a copy of the city report showing the changes that Dan elegantly described in the financial report. So we can all see that. I think it's really positive and shows great growth, and everybody's doing a great job capturing the audience that's out there. Are there any other comments from the board or questions of Tim regarding the Bureau's marketing efforts and or the potential efforts with regard to Hillsburg? If not, Jack, do you have anything that you would like to
Yes.
add?
I want to share, when you mentioned about Hillsburg, I would suggest that maybe in the future we can get a little bit more connection or cooperation with the Napa city. And the last month I met the mayor of the Scott and the mayor. Yeah, we talked about this, and then they are very much ready to have the good contacts with us. So that in the future, if we have any event, we can invite him or the city council come to here. On the newspaper, it's very funny. They said they put the picture between me and Scott. They said, "Oh, finally, West meet the East." But I think that is a very good opportunity and a very positive. And we can thinking about this. Nice guy, really nice guy. And another thing is, I want to say thank you to the team, because in April, team helping the city, helping the sister city organization to take care 10 different countries. Consul General visiting Sonoma. That is a big advertisement. And the Department of the State and the San Francisco Post director, his name is Clayton, just call me and say if possible. And they have these 10 different countries, and the Consul General will visit Sonoma. I said, of course. And then I talked with the team, prepare very nice gift bag, for everyone. They got it impressed. That is shining the best part of our Sonoma. I want to say thank you to the team, and also appreciate you work very close to our City Association. Our city is the history of the city, but never forget, we play a very important role on the international stage as well. And also our market should not be in the domestic and also in the bigger. And also another thing is interesting. Yesterday, I welcome another foreign guest, Mongolia ambassador visit here. He is very interesting. And really, I feel really a big name for our Sonoma. We should make full use of this. And also everyone, your efforts is very significant. Thank you.
Jack, with your guidance, the TID board would like to support your efforts in your sister city foundation.
Okay. Yeah.
And also with your guidance and help, I think Tim and the Bureau, as well as the TID board, would enjoy reaching out to Napa if they're interested in working with us and setting up a meeting similar to what we did with Hillsburg. I think we can work in both directions to the benefit of the community.
Wonderful. Thank you. I want to work on that.
Thank you.
Work with you guys.
Just a little historical comment. This is a big change, the Napa attitude from the past. They've always tended to look down on Sonoma and think we were just a junior citizen. And so if they're willing to talk about working, I think it's a great improvement.
Oh, yes. I told the story to the Scots. I said, come on, you are so proud of your Charles Krug. I said, where the Charles Krug came from? From the Sonoma. He learned from the recipe how to make a wine. Yeah, that's very funny. Later on, I want to send over and the picture between me and Scott. It's lots of the fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Jack. We appreciate your comments. Are there any other items that any member of the board would like to bring to the board's attention this morning? I would like to add an item next month on the agenda that we discuss board members' attendance because the people that are on the Zoom today are regulars and we are here most of the time, but I think we should look to get and participation of other hotels within the Sonoma city limits. And I'd like to make that an agenda item, Tim, so we can talk about it and even put on there that a recommendation if we find one or two people that would like to join our board in the city that we can vote on it, so that we can do that. Do we have?
On it.
Yeah. Do we have, Tim, any applications pending for money that we would contribute to an event or a happening?
Nothing current that I have in front of me. Just a reminder that we did work with the Sonoma Valley Firefighters Association to fund them, and they were already included as a budget request. But Dan, I do need to. We haven't written that check yet, so we have to write that to them. And I was able to find the name of the person who's in charge of it now, so we'll write that this week.
Should we put on the agenda anything about reaching out for additional charities or groups that would need our support at the next meeting, would be a July meeting? I
Sure,
think
yeah,
we put it
we'll-
on the agenda, and then we don't have to worry about being legal about talking about it.
Absolutely. And just on that note, what we usually do once we set the budget, we're able to open up the granting process soon afterwards, so we can vote on it. Probably in August, we can probably get our first request in after the July meeting.
I think we put it on the agenda to talk about the progress.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Can
Anything
we,
else? Anything
No,
else we
Dan.
want to put on the agenda?
I think our next meeting should be our annual meeting. And our bylaws, which we haven't looked at for a little while, talk about finalizing the board of directors. And I think we've just talked about that, look at attendance and get people that really are going to be involved.
Okay.
We can have a draft budget ready for then. We can do a lot of things at that meeting and sort of bring things up to date and get ready for our immediate future.
Okay, that sounds good. Chris, anything you would like to see on the agenda next month?
No, all sounds good to me, Norm. Thanks.
Okay. With that being said, I'm going to ask for somebody to make a motion to approve the minutes from April 14th, 2022.
I'll make the motion.
And can I have a second? Hunt, is there any comment or discussion on the minutes as presented? Being none, I'm going to call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
As far as I can see, it's a unanimous vote, Tim. We've talked about the items for the next meeting, and I want to wish everybody a very happy 4th of July, a great summer. We're all going to make lots and lots of money, and the city treasury will be full of money. Lots of gold, Jack. And I want to thank everybody. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Is there a
Second.
second? Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.